Okay, first off, let me preface this by saying this is the first time I've ever done what we're getting ready to try to do. But we today are going to be tapping some maple trees. We're going to be trying to gather some sap to make our own maple syrup here on the farm. I am very good at identifying trees when the leaves are on. I'll say that point blank. I'm not as good when the leaves are off. There is some key things that we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to tap only sugar maples and red maples. Is that likely to happen? Should. Is it likely that I'm going to tap a silver maple or something like that? Very possible. Hopefully, we won't tap anything other than maple trees. I am learning. If you're watching this video today, this is completely a learning process. My wife and I have started this. This is going to be a hobby for us during the winter. Hopefully, we will not fail miserably. As with anything that is new, there's going to be a huge learning curve. Hope you stick with us. We're going to be tapping 10 trees today, and we're going to start gathering the sap. And at some point, hopefully we will have enough sap to boil down and make some maple syrup. Stay with us. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's going to be a lot of learning too. Okay, like I said, I am not great at identifying trees after the leaves have fallen. But two characteristics of a sugar maple that I know of is one, the bark will turn up on the edges. Two, I know they have opposing branches. Instead of branches going like this, you know, like you'd have one here, one there, they're like this. I also can tell by the bark on the limbs that these are maples. And there's one other thing that I can look at, and it doesn't appear that the buds have started coming out yet. But on a sugar maple, your little buds will be kind of like a reddish color, and they will almost be like heart-shaped or teardrop shaped. Well, by looking at these two trees, I know they're maples, and I'm pretty sure they're sugar maples because the bark actually turns up, it flips up on the edge on both of these trees. So that's the key sign. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna tap them. So for a tree to be considered a good size for tapping, it needs to be at least 10 inches in diameter. So what I have done, and this is per UK Forestry Department, you take a piece of rope, 31.5 inches. If it will go around that tree and overlap, the diameter is not correct. If it goes around that tree and touches, the diameter is correct. If it's further apart, it's even better. So let's check this one right here. This is exactly 31.5 inches. I'm gonna reach around the tree. At breast height, at chest height, and we see the rope does not come close to even touching. So we know this is a good candidate for tapping. We've got another one right here beside of it. I'm gonna check it too. This is not the same tree. At breast height, it does not even come close to touching. So what we will do at this point, we will take our drill, we'll go ahead and drill our hole, drive our tap in, and then we'll set our bucket. If we're lucky, it being warm today and it was really chilly last night, if we're lucky, we may actually see some sap come out of the tree. And we want to set this bucket as close to the south side, set our tap as close to the south side as we can, because that side's gonna get the most sun. And this is the south side of the tree. So let's get started. So this is going to be our first tap. This is a food grade bucket with a lid. I have already taken the time to pre-drill the holes for the tap tubing to go into it. Now what I'll do is I will set the bucket at the base of the tree to where I'm sure I'm not kinking the tap, and I'll just drill my hole at a somewhat upward angle. I need to go in about 2.5 inches, and then I'll drive my tap in right here, and hopefully we'll come back in a couple of days and there'll be some sap in this. But let's get started. Already got syrup. Look at this. Can you see this? See it running out? Well, not syrup, but sap. So I know, I measured by this before we came out here. I know by the time I get to the end of that flute, it's about 2.5 inches. So now we're going to take our tap, push it in like so. We're going to drive. There the sound changed. I don't know if you heard it or not. Now what will happen is the sap will run through this spy, into this tube, and then into the bucket. I feel pretty good about the first one already, I've got to say. When I saw the sap running, I knew I'd hit the right spot. So let's get another one set for this one right here. And we've got to mark this tree with a piece of surveyor's tape. We're going to mark this tap 1. This will be tap 2. And as we move on, we will mark the others in that same numerical order. What we are doing, we are actually in partnership with UK Forestry Department. So we're keeping track of how much sap we gather. And it's a pretty good program. If you're in Kentucky and you're interested in this, I would highly recommend giving it a try. Like I said, this is our first year. We're learning. We're going to make mistakes, but we're going to have a lot of fun making those mistakes. I don't know if you can see this, if the camera will zoom in. If the camera can see this, we actually have sap already running down the tube. So I've got my surveyor's tape. I've got it marked tap 1. We'll tie it around the tree. And we have to leave this here till summer when UK comes and checks our trees out. Done deal. First tree tapped. Okay, we're down to the 10th tree. We've tapped 10 that I am fairly certain are maples. I'm about 99% sure they're maples, but there's always that possibility. But like I said, I'm not an expert at figuring out trees without the leaves. I can do pretty good with leaves. I don't do great without the leaves. But I'm pretty sure we've tagged 10 tap 10 maples. Next thing you'll see is us starting to gather the sap. Hopefully with any luck, we'll have enough sap to gather in the next day or two. We definitely have a run going. We're seeing plenty of sap coming out of the trees as we're tapping them. So that's a very good sign.